Hello everybody, Mega Goal number 2, 3 grammar, pages 8 and 9. Now let's take a look at the objectives. Number 1, preposition plus gerund. Number 2, although, even though, in spite of. Number 3, as soon as, when. Number 4, so that. هذول الأهداف باختصار. طبعا حروف الجر زائد الجرند. Although, even though, in spite of, or as soon as, when, so, and that. هذول الأهداف باختصار. And right now let's move on to pages number 8 and number 9, and please follow up with me as I explain this lesson. Let's start with the first thing. نبدأ بأول حاجة اللي هو preposition plus gerund. خليني قبل ما نبدأ بس أوضح لكم معنى preposition. preposition اللي هي حروف الجر مثل to, for, about, in. preposition plus gerund. الجرند هنا لما أضيف ing للفعل and this verb plus ing acts like a noun. مثلا eat الفعل لما أضيف ل ing it will be eating وبيصبح بكذا اسم. So preposition plus gerund. Before we start, preposition اللي هي حروف الجر أحيانا ممكن يكون بعدها noun اسم, sometimes pronoun ضمير, وأحيانا gerund. Let's take a look at these examples. I apologize to Allison. So to is the preposition حرف الجر, Allison اسم. I apologize to her. To حرف الجر, her يعتبر pronoun ضمير. I apologize for forgetting her graduation day. So here for حرف جر جاء بعد forgetting اللي هو gerund. So as I said previously أحيانا preposition يجي بعد اسم, يجي بعد ضمير, أو يجي بعد gerund. Now here we have some verbs are usually followed by certain preposition. طبعا خلي أقول لكم شغلة على preposition. preposition في بعضها يتبع قاعدة معينة وبعضها لا يتبع قاعدة معينة وبعضها بالممارسة. لكن هنا في بعض الأفعال يجي بعدها نوع معين أو حرف جر معين. Okay? So people, معظم الناس they get confused when they use the preposition. فأنتوا بس تحفظون هذه الأفعال وشنو يجي بعدها من حروف الجر. خلاص؟ طبعا ومنع الممارسة راح تتمكنوا من حروف الجر. Now let's take a look at these examples. I apologize for arriving late. So apologize for دائما يجي بعدها gerund. I apologize for forgetting your birthday. I look forward to, طبعا look forward to يجي بعدها to, meeting you personally. خلاص؟ طبعا كثيرين يقولوا مثلا I'm looking forward to or I look forward to يجي مفروض بعدها الفعل في المصدر, خطأ. I look forward to يجي بعدها verb ing اللي هي الgerund. I look forward to meeting you personally. I'm dreaming of يحلم فيه, dreaming of فبعد dreaming اللي هو الفعل, بس خليني أوضح لكم. So verb plus preposition, certain preposition حروف الجر, وبعدها شنو يجي gerund مثل ما انتو شايفين. Okay? So I'm dreaming of going on vacation. I'm thinking of thinking يجي بعدها what? Of moving to a new house soon. I decided against wearing a uniform. يعني قررت ضد. Okay? Against wearing a uniform. I insist أصريت on. You insist on something. تصر على أمر ما. Paying for our lunch. I succeeded in. نجحت في. Succeeded in getting into college. I asked about. طلبت من applying for a job. I asked about applying for a job. So you just have to memorize يعني تحفظون الأفعال certain verbs and يعني what comes after these certain verbs. هذه الأفعال المعينة شو يجي بعدها من حروف الجر. Okay? And you remember something, لازم تتذكرون شيء إنه practice makes perfect. يعني مع الممارسة يصبح الواحد يعني متمكن من الشيء. So this is regarding a preposition plus gerund. Now let's move on to the next thing. ننتقل للشيء الثاني اللي هي although, even though, in spite of. كلها لها بنفس المعنى have similar meaning. مو نفس المعنى يعني معنى متشابه. على الرغم من ذلك. Although, even though, in spite of. لكن although, even though, they introduce a clause that has a subject and a verb. يقدمون يعني clause يكون فيه فعل وفاعل. Now let's take a look here. Although طبعا ننتبه هنا تكون capital letter لأنها في البداية. إيش اللي جاء بعدها؟ Subject plus a verb. Although it rained على الرغم منها أمطرت, we enjoyed the vacation استمتعنا بالعطلة. Even though, and as I said previously, they have similar meaning اللي هم تقريبا نفس المعنى. بس هنا, although, even though, they introduce a clause that has a subject and a verb. So here there is a subject and a verb. Even though I was tired, على الرغم إني كنت تعبانة, I couldn't sleep. Okay, ما قدرت أنام. Or I could sleep. Anyways, now let's move on to the next thing. Okay, so but in spite of إيش معنى in spite of؟ مثل ما ذكرت لكم مسبقا in spite of اللي هي على الرغم من in spite of followed by a noun or a gerund يجي بعدها إما اسم أو gerund اللي هي verb plus ing يعني ما يجي بعدها clause أو introducing a clause in spite of the traffic. So the traffic here is a noun. Okay, على الرغم من الترافيك بازدحام المروري. I arrived on time. أتيت على الوقت. He went to school in spite of being sick. So in spite جاء بعدها here gerund. جاء بعدها gerund اللي هي verb ing على الرغم من. فقط أوضح لكم الفرق بينهم إن although يجي بعدها أو even though يجي يعني تقدم clause يجي بعدها اسم فاعل subject وكذلك فعل. لكن in spite يا أما يجي بعدها اسم أو gerund. خلاص اسم أو gerund. Now طبعا بس أوضح لكم شغلة before we move on to the next thing. مثل ما انتم عارفين لما نبدأ although even though يكون في comma in between مثل ما شفتوا even in spite of يكون في comma in between لكن لما يجون بالنص they replace the comma يحلون محل الكوما. So is that clear? So this is regarding the second thing which is although, even though and in spite of. Now let's move on to the next thing. ننتقل للي بعدها. As soon as and when. Both of them are considered to be conjunctions of time. يعني أدوات ربط للوقت. As soon as and when. They aren't, but these conjunction of time, they aren't followed by future form. ما يجي بعدهم المستقبل مثل will, going to. Of verbs even though the verbs tell us about the future time. يعني أحيانا الفكرة أنه مثلا as soon as when ممكن تخبرك عن المستقبل لكن ما يجي بعدها المستقبل ما يجي بعدها will ولا be going to لكن يجي بعدها المضارع The present is used instead. Let's take a look here. I'll tell you as soon as I know. خلاص. So as soon as this is conjunction of time. أداة ربط للمستقبل. طبعا الجملة هذه I'll tell you as soon as I know تخبرك عن المستقبل لكن اللي يجي بعدها لازم يكون simple present مضارع بسيط. طبعا انتوا عارفين simple present طبعا مع third person singular ياخذ اس لكن مع ال I وال you وال they وال we بدون S. Okay, I'll call you when I arrive. So when is also a conjunction of time. الجملة كلها تخبرك عن المستقبل. I'll call you when I arrive. راح أكلمك لما آتي. لكن بعد ال when as soon as يجي مثل ما قلت لكم simple present. يعني لا أستطيع إنه أنا أقول مثلا I call you when I will arrive or when I'm going to arrive. خطأ. لازم يجي بعدها simple present. So is that clear? So again, let's summarize it. As soon as and when are considered to be conjunction of time. أدوات للربط بين الوقت تخبرك عن المستقبل لكن ما يجي بعدها ال future form. لازم يجي بعدها the present form المضارع. Okay? Now let's move on to the next thing and the last thing, which is so and that. So with أحيانا طبعا so that. طبعا that هنا optional. ممكن تكتبيها أو لا. You can write it or leave it. Now so تجي مع الإيش ال adjective or with many, much, few, little to express result of degree. خلاص. طبعا ممكن تجي مع adjective so مع adjective. واضح؟ so ممكن تجي مع many. so ممكن تجي مع much. so ممكن تجي few. so little لتوضح result نتيجة أو degree يعني so much, so many. خلاص درجة الشيء. Now let's take a look at the examples. The noise was so loud. هنا so جاء بعدها صفة. That مثل ما قلت لكم that is optional. يعني I can write it or leave it. It's the same. يعني ما تأثر على معنى الجملة. We could hardly hear ourselves talk. Okay. There were so many كثير يعني خلاص cars that we couldn't find a place to park. واضح؟ so many cars. طبعا again to express a result يعني so something أحيانا نتيجة شيء أو a degree of something. so many, so much. طبعا انتوا عارفين إنه so many طبعا many يجي مع المعدود إذا كان الاسم معدود. so much اللي هو الغير معدود طبعا وهنا تعني الكثير. خلاص. طبعا بالنسبة إلى so few قليل. طبعا so little برضو قليل لكن few مع المعدود الاسم المعدود و little غير معدود. فقط أوضح لكم يعني هنا cars تعتبر معدود فأستخدم many. بس مثلا لما أقول oil أقول so much لأنها غير معدود. Is that clear? So I thought that I should explain this. So right now I have explained to you so that. Now let's move on to the exercises on pages number 8 and 9. Now let's take a look at them and let's راح أحاول إني أجاوب على الأسئلة وبعض الأسئلة اللي ما بقدر أجاوب عليها فقط I'm gonna flash the answers. راح أوضح لكم الإجابات and you can answer it yourself. يعني ممكن you copy the answer تنقلون الإجابة. Complete the sentences with although or in spite of. طبعا أنا دائما أقول إن فهم السؤال جزء من الإجابة. طبعا هي إما although or in spite of. لازم تعرفون إن although يجي بعدها subject and verb حتى لو كان لهم نفس المعنى و in spite of يجي بعدها إما noun أو gerund. لازم تعرفون هذا الشيء. So in spite of طبعا لازم تنتبهون إذا كان بداية الجملة لازم أكتبها في capital letter. Punctuation is very important. In spite of her busy schedule, May always remember her friends' events. Although Steve had all the right qualifications, he wasn't chosen for the job. Our team lost the game, although we played much better than the other team. We had a really good time at the beach in spite of the cloudy weather. طبعا وآخر واحدة although she has a Russian last name she was actually born in Canada. طبعا واضح إنه although يجي بعدها يعني although introduces a clause مثل ما انتم شايفين this is a clause طبعا وبعدها يجي subject و verb. لكن مثل ما شايفين in spite her يجي بعدها طبعا her busy noun يعني هنا جاء ضمير بس anyways يعني. Okay, now let's move on to the next thing, which is the telegraph system. This is something that I have answered and you can just copy the answer, pause the video and copy the answer. مطلوب فقط أنا بوضح لكم المطلوب. Use the following words to complete the paragraph. عندنا كلمات مطلوب إن احنا أكمل الباراجراف although, as soon as, because, but, during, in spite of. Now let's move on to the next thing. You are asked to match two parts of the sentences about an outing. Anyways, طبعا again I am gonna I'm flashing the answer. You can just pause the video, copy the answers. طبعا I'd recommend في هالحالة لما يكون عندكم matching إن you read carefully the sentences and you take your time وبعدها you decide which one matches what. Okay, now let's move on to exercise letter D. You are asked to complete the sentences about yourself, then compare with a partner. طبعا answers may vary يعني الإجابات ممكن تختلف but still يعني you have to apply the same rule. طبعا انتوا عارفين إنه يجي بعدها what? Gerund. Now let's take a look. I'm interested in studying abroad. I'm excited about going away on vacation. I'm thinking of studying engineering. You can say studying medicine or whatever. I'm looking forward to going to your graduation ceremony. I'm used to speaking in public. I'm tired of doing homework every night. I apologize to my friend for arriving late. I'm not capable of waking up early in the morning. And I'm used to going to bed late at night. I decided against going to the beach today. Just one thing before we end the lesson or I end this video قبل ما أختم هذا الفيديو. بالنسبة إلى I'm used to okay. طبعا ممكن تقولون إنه يجي بعدها infinitive مثل اللي طبعا وهي متكررة. في الحقيقة مثل I'm looking forward to أنا قايلة لكم دائما يجي بعدها verb plus ing. This is very important. لكن بالنسبة ل used to لما يجي بعدها verb to be طبعا انتوا عارفين verb to be ممكن يكون am, is, are. okay. طبعا هنا I لأنه يجي معها am. used to يعني الزبدة لما مثلا يكون هنا subject plus verb to be or verb to be وبعدها use to يجي بعدها الverb plus ing. You have to be very careful about that. واضح؟ فقط أوضح لكم so you don't confuse or you don't get confused عشان ما يعني تتلخبطون. So right now we have reached the end of the lesson. I hope that you have enjoyed it and don't forget to subscribe, share this video with your friends and hit the like button. Till next time, have a good one.